Good morning, children. Today in social science, in civics, in class 9, we continue the lesson working of institutions. So, today we'll see how the appointment of judges of Supreme Court and High Courts are made. Now, the judges of Supreme Court and the High Courts are appointed by the President on the advice of the Prime Minister and in consultation with the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. So, in other words, what does it mean? That the President, with the advice of the Prime Minister and the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, they are the ones who appoint the judges of the Supreme Court and the High Courts. Now, the senior judges of Supreme Court select new judges of the Supreme Court and the High Courts. So that is how and the way and the manner in which the appointment of the judges take place in the Supreme Court and the High Court. And generally, the senior-most judge of the Supreme Court is appointed the Chief Justice. So this is how they are appointed. Now, removal of a judge of Supreme Court and High Court. It's seen that once a person is appointed as judge of the Supreme Court or the High Court, it is nearly impossible to remove him or her from the position. That means once they have been appointed as a judge in the Supreme Court or the High Court, it's almost not possible for them to be removed. But a judge can be removed only by an impeachment motion. Impeachment means that when it has support of the two houses, that is when it is passed separately by 2/3 members of the two houses of the parliament. In that case, that is what is called as the impeachment motion. So in that way, the removal of a judge of the Supreme Court or High Court could be there. But in our country, in the Indian democracy, it has not happened so far. Now, the role of the Supreme Court and the High Courts. Naturally, they play an important role because they are interpreting the Constitution, they are upholding the Constitution and seeing to it that if there is anything that goes against the Constitution, that they set matters right. Now, the Supreme Court and High Courts have the power to interpret the Constitution. So, they understand the Constitution the best and therefore they have the power to interpret it. They can declare invalid any law or legislature or the actions of the executive, whether at the union level or state level, if it is against the Constitution. That means if something is there, but any law which is against the Constitution, or if there has been any action performed by the executive, the government, then in that case they can declare that as invalid. So those are some of the major powers of the Supreme Court and the High Court. Further, we see that there is what we call as a judicial review. Now, review means, judicial of course is related to the judiciary. Review means when there is a kind of a formal examination of something so as to make changes if it is necessary. Now, how do we do that? That is that they can determine, that is the judges, they can determine the constitutional validity of any legislation, that it is how much it is abiding by the Constitution, how much it is in favor of the Constitution, along with the Constitution, or action of the executive in the country when it is challenged before them. That means that they are the ones, that is the Supreme Court and the High Courts, they decide, the judges, they decide that whether it is valid or it is not, if it is challenged before them. So that is review. That means any law that may be existing, so they can reconsider that if it is challenged before them. The Supreme Court of India has also ruled that basic principles of the Constitution cannot be changed by the Parliament. That means the basic principles which are contained in the Constitution, those will never be changed. Not even the Parliament can do that. Judiciary as the highest authority. Now we see that the powers that both the courts, the Supreme Court and the High Courts have, and the independence of the Indian judiciary, that they are independent in the sense that they are not under the legislature or the executive, they are working independently, and they are allowed to act as the guardian of fundamental rights. Guardian, that means they are protecting the fundamental rights, the 6 fundamental rights that we have: right to equality, freedom of religion, right to freedom, and education and cultural rights, right to constitutional remedies. So this is what they are doing. They are protecting, they are the guardian of the fundamental rights. Anyone can approach the courts if public interest is hurt by the actions of the government, and if there is any person, any group, any organization, if it is seen that something that is against the public interest or it is hurt by the action of the government, they can approach the court and the matter will be decided by the court then. This is what we call as a PIL, or in other words, it is known as a public interest litigation. That means that if any individual or a group or any persons together, if they feel that there's something done by the government which is against public interest or not in the well-being and welfare of the people, then the courts can be approached. So this is what we term as public interest litigation. In the recent years, if we see, the courts have given several judgments and directives to protect public interest and human rights. So that is that because the public interest is of the utmost importance. Everything is being done for the people, for the citizens of the country, for looking after the welfare of the people, and to see that they don't have problems or try to reduce and minimize these problems. So they can do that. So they have given several judgments and directives in order to protect public interest also and see that the human rights are protected. The courts intervene in such cases to prevent misuse of government's power to make decisions. Now, when a ruling government has all the powers, of course, but it also, so the court can intervene if there is any misuse of governmental power. They check malpractices on the part of public officials. If there is any public official also who is indulging in any unfair practices, that also they can check it. So thus we see that the judiciary enjoys a high level of confidence among the people, because people know, people understand that when they have any difficulty or if any of their rights are violated, they have the courts to support them in order to protect them so that they are able to enjoy the rights that they are given by our constitution. Thank you.